As we do every week, we bring you a profile of someone who is a star, and the next person is no stranger to that limelight. She is married to a very, very famous comedian. She was in the Miss Uganda beauty pageant, and just a week or so ago, she was unveiled. Ladies and gentlemen, Karen.
My name is Karen Hasasha Kimuli, and I'm a jack of all trades, but for now I can say that I'm a gospel artist. I'm a new gospel artist on the scene. I started singing when I was a child. I grew up in a school, and so I had many opportunities to sing in the chapel there. But surprisingly, I never sang where I went to school when I was a little girl. But I was comfortable singing in the home atmosphere and in the chapel and any opportunity I got at home. Well, as a child, I watched all sorts of musical shows, like many of you might remember Colby's Clubhouse. Shows like that, and I always felt like I wish I had an opportunity to do something like that. So what I would do is I would get those songs, make sure I learn them, and any opportunity I got to perform them or sing anywhere, then that's what I did. And at times we had little concerts at home where Daddy would pull out the camera and record us singing. So I was just inspired by that whole desire and that atmosphere of wanting to be more than what I was at that time. Somehow I knew that there was a bigger horizon out there, and that is what I wanted to connect with. Well, I believe that every talent or any gift that you have in you is God-given. And whatever is given to you by God must be used to bring glory to His name. And that's how I see music as a ministry for me. It's a way of using my voice to tell people what God has done for me and what He can do for them and what is yet to come, because when you read God's word, you find that there's so many promises of the great things that He can do for us, and where we've wronged Him or we've wronged other people, that we still have an opportunity to correct our mistakes and have a better life. So for me, music is a way that I can tell people that. We're waiting here for you with our hands lifted high in praise, and it's you we adore, singing hallelujah. When I was in high school, I used to write music a lot, and I had a group. I was in Gayaza High School, and we had a group called Girls of Faith. And in this group, we used to sing different songs and minister to our fellow students at school. But then I went through a bout of depression where I felt I wasn't excelling in school the way I wanted to. I felt I could not connect with people the way I wanted to, and I got very, very, very depressed. I even had to be taken to see some doctors, and I was on medication for depression. And my life was just a mess. But every time I got up to sing and speak to the kids in school, I would encourage them, and I used to write encouraging songs. So I wondered why it was that I was preaching a message that was not applying to me. And so I listened to my own songs, and I thought to myself, how can I tell someone else that they can come out of this, and yet I'm not coming out of it, you know? So in that moment, I just chose to snap out of it, because doctors had tried to help me. My family had tried to help me. And at that time, it was this sort of situation that these are modern illnesses. We don't understand things like, how can you say you're manically depressed? What does that mean? It's really a Muzungu illness, as they would say. No one understood it. So I was like, this must be a spiritual attack of some sort. So I decided to snap out of it, and with God's help, I just chose to apply the message I was giving to others, to myself. So the people who lifted me through that are many. I have uncles, aunties, and my parents, but I really believe it was God, because without Him, all that help would never have applied in my life. Yeah. Role models, I don't know that I can put a name, because as I said, my inspiration is really totally from God and His love for me. And I believe he has put amazing people along the journey of life to help me through every step. Right now, any person I meet who sings with their heart and who has a passion for what they're doing, to me is a role model. I like to pick good things from everyone I meet along the way. If I see something great in you, for that moment you will be my role model, but it's because I see what God is doing in you and I feel like I can tap into that, and he does something great in my life as well. Yeah, so I cannot name people exactly. I cannot name people, but I say any person God has put along my path who's doing an amazing job is a role model to me. I see myself going places with music. I had a concert recently, and at that concert I had an opportunity to reveal to everyone that I want to be an urban gospel musician, like an equivalent of Exodus. On the women's side, that is my hope and dream, and I believe that I can achieve that in the next couple of years. So for me, the future is very bright. I intend to record new music that is more appealing. My first album I believe is beautiful, and it's mostly listened to music, but I want to also go into diverse music, dancehall, different sorts of things that can draw even the mainstream in to listen to what Christ can do for them. I'm still part of the worship team at Watoto Church, and I used to work with the Watoto Children's Choir, which is also part of Watoto Church. I used to travel with the kids. We were doing fundraising for the orphans, and I used to sing with them. When you're traveling with the kids, you are backing up the kids. The kids are not backing you up. So it was a very humbling experience to work with these little children and be the one to support them and make sure that the limelight is theirs. Yeah, so I did that for 2 years. But since 2003, I've been a member of Watoto Church, and I've been in the worship team. To this day, I still do what we call rotations. I sing on the worship team. Through the storm, he is Lord, Lord of all.